Elections do matter, and this one is just as important as any that have been in the past. I'm a firefighter and a union member, but I'm also a husband and a father. When we step up this year to vote, we need to continue on what has been set out with previous 4 years. I'm asking you to stay the course, stay with the president we currently have in place, and when you vote for other people in office, make sure you vote with the knowledge that you're putting people in place that control your future.
I've heard so many times in my lifetime that this election will be the most important, or that election will be the most important. I believe that actually this election will be the most important of my lifetime. I've had many elections that I've been involved with. What's at stake nationwide and more specifically in Washington State is collective bargaining, anti-labor laws, and for all of labor in general and firefighters in particular, this election will be the most important.
And I'm not sure that the public realizes the importance of this election. Truly is about saving the middle class.
Maybe one of the greatest things about our country was our strong middle class, and we're seeing the country and the economy suffer for normal people because that middle class is gone. And the sides are, the camps are divided, and there's one camp for the middle class, and there's one that's for the upper class. We've tried the policies for the last 30 years, and it's time to reestablish the middle class in this country.
When I think about this November, I think about the first words that were said to me when I joined the fire service: brotherhood and sisterhood. And that's about what we have as firefighters, not just on the job, but off the job. Benefits, working conditions, and everything that was brought to us in a contract package.
And elections really do matter. I know we hear it all the time, but this election does. Local races, statewide, national races, we're under attack. Labor is under attack. And we see it with our collective bargaining law, with our pensions, health care. The middle class is under assault in this country, and we all need to stick together. Paraphrasing Ben Franklin, he said, "We all need to hang together, or surely we'll hang separately."
Organized labor has been the focus of the right-wing conservative power brokers since the highly successful 2008 elections. What this means to us in November is whether they'll break our back or we'll continue to grow and prosper as a nation, as individuals, and as a family.
With the attack on unions in the national right to work legislation that's out there, if we don't elect the right people, your right to bargain may be gone, your right to fair wages may be gone, and it's time to step up to the plate and vote for those people that are in favor of union people and in favor of workers.
The folks that are opposing us are going about it so strongly, and they're going to be there to absolutely take away any rights and benefits that we currently have, which is going to do nothing but impact negatively on folks downstream from us.
This November is going to be an election that's about two different ideologies, one being the failed trickle-down economics of the past, and the other being one based on a solid middle class. So I think this November everybody has a choice to make as far as whether we're going to continue failed policies or we're going to move forward with a president and a legislature that values the middle class.
I truly see that the middle class is disintegrating, and this has become more apparent in the recent attacks that have been taken towards labor and the middle class, and we're slowly working our way to an upper class and a lower class, and where the average worker fits is going to end up being in a level in an area that I don't think is going to benefit our country and provide for a good future.
I believe that this election has two very different ideologies, and they are, one will affect all Americans as far as working class and being able to provide a good wage and benefits for their families, and the other will basically get rid of that middle class.
I think this November's election is important because it'll be a referendum on the Tea Party. Our voters are going to continue to move state legislatures to the right, or they're going to reject the ideology of the Tea Party, which is divisive and taking this country back a notch.
We've seen the Tea Party movement kind of make its hold, with this last election. And now we're faced with a bigger choice with Romney, who's really kind of taken that movement to a new level. he's somebody who's just completely out of touch with America. It's impossible for him to relate to anybody in the middle class or the working class, if you will, because simply he's never been there. He doesn't know what the needs are and what the impacts are, or more importantly, what the benefits are of having a strong middle class in America.
This is a crucial election. I don't think that we've ever seen a battle, a more crucial battle between the have and have-nots than in this election cycle. It'll be interesting to see if all the incoming monies, the millions and upon millions of dollars that are coming into these campaigns, if they'll be able to buy the votes.
And I hope that we go for the protection of workers and we strengthen the middle class, and we realize that a rising tide will raise all ships. So I encourage you to vote in this upcoming election for the middle class.
And the threats that our labor family are under right now is like we've not seen before, and we need to support our working families. Our unions have candidates that they support our issues, and they're working for the unions, and it's important for us to get behind those candidates, get them elected for our further protection.
You have to think about the workers and think about the 99%. You know, it's important for us to make sure we can move forward and collectively do what's best for America.
If you value your paycheck, you value your benefits, if you value your job, you need to consider voting for the Democrats. If you want to put your money in somebody else's pocket, go ahead and vote for the Republicans.
November is important. Our members need to get out to vote. We stand to lose everything those before us have fought for.
It's important that we get out the message that Obama is our candidate and that his stances on labor issues is what's going to bring this middle class back to the levels it was in the 80s and early 90s. So I'm encouraging all labor to get out, talk to their membership, talk to their families and friends, and encourage you to get out to vote on November 6th.
The middle class needs to make a stand in this November election for us to exist in the future. I don't care if you're a longshoreman, a laborer, an electrician, a police officer, or a firefighter. We all need to stand together in November so that we can ensure that our way of life continues for our children.
You know, we have a big responsibility. We need to really get out there and help educate our membership. We need to help also educate our neighbors, our friends, our family on the importance of, you know, this big political season that's coming up. We got some big decisions to make. We got to really make sure that we get the proper people elected.
It's important that you get involved in your elections, that you participate not only in the elections themselves, but getting other people involved in the election. Get the word out, get out the vote. Do your part. Without you doing your part, we'll not be as successful.
Before you vote, make sure you look into which candidate is going to protect your rights as a worker.
I urge people to go out in November and vote for President Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and support the middle class and the middle class worker.
This is the most critical election in my lifetime. It's also the most critical election for my kids. This election is about the quality of life for the middle class.
Hi, I'm Ricky Walsh, coming to you again from the IFF 7th District Caucus, and I am your neighborhood union thug. But I'm also a firefighter, and I also provide that service. I respond to 911 calls. And what I wanted to talk about today is the fact of what's at stake in November. And what's at stake in November is the American dream. Despite what some people will tell you, that's what's at stake and that's what they want to take away. And we all know who they are. So I want to make sure that all workers, not just union members, but all workers know how to vote this year. And they should be voting for their own interest and not against their interest. All you have to do is look at the Republican platform and the Democratic platform, and you will know who has your interest in mind. And what you do behind the curtain in November is going to make a difference not only for yourself, but all of us. Because we're all in this together, every single one of us.
The middle class isn't the enemy in America. We are America.